Before Messi and Ronaldo ruled the world, there was another, a man who didn't need tattoos, scandals, or arrogance to become the best. His real name? Ricardo Izecson dos Santos Leite. Born on April 22, 1982, in Brasília, Brazil, the world would later know him simply as Kaká. But do you know why he's called that? It came from his little brother Rodrigo, who couldn't pronounce Ricardo properly and instead said Kaká. That innocent nickname stayed for life. From surviving a freak swimming pool accident that nearly left him paralyzed to becoming the last man not named Messi or Ronaldo to win the Ballon d'Or. Kaká's story is filled with moments you've never heard before. Let's dive into the rise, the struggles, and the legacy of football's true gentleman. Ricardo Izecson dos Santos Leite was born into a middle-class family in Brasília on April 22, 1982. Unlike many Brazilian stars who grew up in poverty, Kaká's childhood was comfortable. His father, Bosco Izecson Pereira Leite, was a civil engineer. His mother, Simone dos Santos, was a teacher. Interestingly, Kaká wasn't just good at football. As a boy, he loved tennis, and for a time his parents thought he might choose that sport instead. But football always pulled him back. His younger brother, Rodrigo, who later became a professional footballer himself, known as Digão, struggled to pronounce Ricardo and instead said Kaká. Over time, it turned into Kaká, a name that would one day echo across the world's biggest stadiums. By age 8, Kaká had joined San Paolo FC's youth academy, but fate soon threw him a terrifying test. In 2000, at just 18 years old, Kaká's dream nearly ended forever. While on holiday, he jumped into a swimming pool, slipped awkwardly, and fractured a vertebra in his spine. Doctors feared the worst, paralysis. Some even thought he might never walk again. Imagine, one of football's most graceful players almost never setting foot on a pitch. But Kaká always credited his recovery to his faith. He was already a devoted Christian, and he believed God had spared him for a purpose. After months of intense rehabilitation, he made a full recovery. Remarkably, just weeks later, he made his senior debut for San Paolo. In his very first game, he scored within minutes, from nearly being confined to a wheelchair to scoring as a professional teenager. That accident could have ended Kaká's story before it began. Instead, it became the defining chapter of his resilience. Kaká quickly became San Paulo's golden boy. In the 2001 season, he scored 12 goals in 27 appearances, a stunning record for a teenager midfielder. That same year, he helped San Paulo win the Torneio Rio-São Paulo, scoring twice in just 2 minutes in the final against Botafogo. He wasn't the typical Brazilian dribbler with flashy tricks. Instead, he played with elegance, long strides, sharp vision, intelligence. Even at 19, European scouts were already circling. One little-known fact: in 2001, Kaká was invited to play in a charity match with Brazilian legends like Romário and Dunga. It was there that many in Brazil realized he wasn't just a rising star, he was destined for greatness. By 2003, AC Milan came knocking, and for 8.5 million euros, they secured a player who would soon conquer Europe. When Kaká arrived at AC Milan in 2003, he was only 21. Nobody expected him to adapt so quickly. Yet in his debut season, he scored 10 goals and helped Milan win the Serie A title. Milan fans instantly fell in love. He wasn't just effective, he was beautiful to watch. With his upright running style, almost gliding across the pitch, he looked more like a ballet dancer than a footballer. His big breakthrough came in the 2004 to 2005 Champions League. Milan reached the final in Istanbul against Liverpool. Kaká was unplayable in the first half. He assisted Hernan Crespo with a stunning outside foot pass that cut through Liverpool's defense. Milan went 3-0 up, but then came one of football's greatest shocks: Liverpool's comeback. Milan lost on penalties. For many players, that was trauma. For Kaká, it was unfinished business. 2 years later, In 2007, Milan returned to the Champions League final, again against Liverpool. This time, Kaká was the leader, the star, the engine. Milan won 2-1. Kaká finished the tournament as top scorer with 10 goals, including that unforgettable solo run against Manchester United at Old Trafford. That year, he won the Ballon d'Or, the last player before Messi and Ronaldo's dominance began. Few remember this. Kaká also won the UEFA Club Footballer of the Year, the FIFA Pro World Player of the Year, and the FIFA World Player of the Year in 2007. He swept every award possible. For that brief moment, he was undisputedly the best in the world. In 2009, Real Madrid launched their second Galacticos project. Alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and Xabi Alonso, Kaká arrived for 68.5 million euros. At the time, the second most expensive transfer ever. The world expected magic. Kaká and Ronaldo together was supposed to dominate Europe, but reality was cruel. Persistent knee injuries meant Kaká could never hit the same heights. He underwent surgery in 2010 and missed months of action. Over 4 seasons, he made just 85 league appearances, scoring 23 goals. Good numbers for most players, but disappointing for a Ballon d'Or winner. One detail many forget. Even at Madrid, Kaká had flashes of brilliance. In 2011, he was named La Liga's Player of the Month, proof that when fit, he could still shine. But Madrid fans never saw the full Milan version of Kaká. By 2013, he returned to AC Milan. Back at Milan, Kaká wore the captain's armband in several games, but the magic had faded. His body simply couldn't do what it once did. In 2014, he moved back to San Paolo on loan before signing with Orlando City SC in the MLS. There, he became the league's first global superstar, scoring 25 goals and providing 19 assists over 3 seasons. Fans in the US adored him, not just for his past glories, but for his humility and his willingness to promote the game in a country where football was still growing. In December 2017, Kaká officially announced his retirement, his last act as a professional, thanking God, his family, and the sport that gave him everything. Kaká's story isn't just about goals and trophies. He was unique because of who he was off the pitch. He was a devout Christian. After every goal, he raised his hands to the sky. In the 2002 World Cup final, after Brazil's victory, he wore a shirt that read, "I belong to Jesus." Another detail many forget. In 2005, when Milan won the Scudetto, Kaká donated a large part of his bonus to his church in San Paolo. He married his childhood sweetheart, Caroline Shelico, and they had 2 children. Unlike many footballers, his personal life was relatively free of scandals. Even teammates described him as different. Paolo Maldini once said, "Kaká was the perfect teammate, always respectful, always professional, always smiling." In an era where footballers often courted controversy, Kaká was the opposite, a symbol of humility. Ricardo Izecson dos Santos Leite, born April 22nd, 1982, known worldwide as Kaká. From a near-paralyzing accident at 18, to Champions League glory with AC Milan, to lifting the Ballon d'Or as the world's best. He may not have the endless records of Messi or Ronaldo. He may not have played at the top for as long, but for those few years at his peak, he was untouchable. He was proof that greatness doesn't always need arrogance, that faith and humility can live side by side with brilliance, and that sometimes the most beautiful stories in football aren't just about numbers, but about grace. Kaká wasn't just a footballer, he was an experience, and for millions, he remains unforgettable.